So if I had to go ahead and place a bet right now on what will be the next old school RuneScape skill, we got some options. Artson, Warding, Shamanism, Taming. What do you think is going to be the next option? Go ahead, take a sit back in your chair. Maybe you're on the pooper. Maybe you're driving. Please drive safe. And take a second or two to go ahead and think in your head. You got 4 options. What do you think is going to be the next skill? Did you enjoy a nice wet poop? Oh, you probably did, you sick weirdo. Okay, anyways. What do I really believe the next skill is going to be? Oh, man. So I can go ahead and tell you what my brain is pondering. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that shamanism is definitely up there for a possibility. Why do I feel like shamanism is going to be up there? I just really feel that all the content that the old school RuneScape team has released over the years, it's kind of really been pushing Jagex into a direction in a way of like shamanism, which focuses on pretty much like the magic aspect. Kind of looks like it's going to be maybe a blend of archaeology from RuneScape 3 in a way. I just have a very strange feeling that we could see shamanism potentially being the next skill out there. On the flip side, I also see warding as also being up there. And the only reason that I have for this is because it was talked about at RuneFest. So it was basically pretty much kind of like hinted in a way a little bit. But I guess the old school RuneScape community just really did not like want that. And I don't really blame them. What would I really feel comfortable with being like having another 99 on this game? I really think shamanism would be interesting, but that may be a little too much of going off course of what RuneScape might really be all about. We might go from being like a medieval times style of game to now we're talking about like, oh, crappers, we're going to be something from like World of Warcraft here, right? But it's pretty humorous because shamanism did get the second most votes, losing to sailing. So obviously the community has this like sense of a drive that is like, hey, we've been getting all this content over the years and we've been liking it. I mean, we've been getting Slayer bosses. We have raids. We have new weapons and new items that RuneScape 3 pretty much has never seen before. Old school RuneScape is clearly nothing like RuneScape 3, and it's moved in a totally separate direction. Not to mention, we now have sailing, which sets old school RuneScape even further away from RuneScape 3. That's a good thing. So, I would definitely say these 2 skills would be the next 99. I don't really see Artson like coming to anything like new, or it's not, I just can't really picture it. Have things happen on this game that I could not picture? Oh yeah, all the time. Like, who the hell would have ever thought I'd be sailing around in a damn boat, like delivering like boxes of stuff for EXP? That is probably very unknown to think about, and if you were to say that as a prediction, maybe like 7 years ago, okay, maybe not 7 years ago, a couple years ago, if you were to say that, people would probably say, yo, Nightmare, what the hell are you smoking? You got to give me some of that, or you got to go and like sober up, buddy. Like, seriously. A couple years ago, before we voted on the new skill, nobody would have ever thought in their wildest dreams that like we would be sailing around December 9th, 2025. But shamanism was definitely up there next to sailing, and it shows some level of enthusiasm for a lot of people that they really do want something that's going to continue to take kind of like a inverse direction away from like RuneScape 3. Keeping the medieval times, of course, on RuneScape. But as for warding, it's kind of really interesting how it was announced and it just kind of really never made it up there. As for taming and also like artsin, like these two are just not very, I want to say, popular in a way. When I looked at this stuff, I remember voting for like I legitimately did vote for sailing. So I, in theory, got what I wanted. But a lot of people that I talked to, they're like, yeah, you know, I voted for shamanism. I think it's pretty cool. And I'm like, I actually really respect that. If we do get like a shamanism in a way, I mean, hey, what's the worst that can happen? We're going to be like running around, basically using magic, basically doing some relics in a way kind of very similar to like RuneScape 3 archaeology, where you go to a dig site and you're basically just digging away with like a pickaxe. You get a piece of broken armor, then you got to repair that piece of broken armor, and then you get EXP. That's how archaeology is on RuneScape 3. I ended up getting 120 by literally watching Breaking Bad like 2 times. It's a lot of AFKing. So, hypothetically, if shamanism is somewhere along the lines of that, it could be very cool to actually do. Now, as for warding, I don't really know what that necessarily would be in a way. And that kind of really bothers me. Because the people that voted for sailing, including myself, we obviously knew that we were probably going to be a bunch of bung sailors, you know, going all over RuneScape, delivering maybe something, maybe fighting people at sea. Like, I remember talking to one of my friends a couple years ago, and we both talked extensively on this, and we're like, man, imagine if Jagex introduces player versus player when it comes to sailing. What is that going to be like? That is going to be pretty cool. And then we also both were talking about some negative things as well about sailing. We're like, you know, what if it's some stupid instance? What if we don't actually get a bunch of boats and hoes? What if we don't actually sail around the seas? What if it's something totally just like wood cutting in a way, and we're just AFKing, you know, getting some EXP. It's typical like AFKing bullshit. That was also very negatively talked about as well. And the more that we saw, it was going to be pretty much the opposite. I mean, the old school RuneScape team was pretty vocal. They're like, no, you all are going to be doing stuff. They were talking about it all throughout their blogs, all throughout their live streams. No, you all are going to be busy sailors at sea. So with shamanism, I really do see something along the lines where it could very well potentially be something like that. And I've said this before during live streams, during previous videos. I really believe that Jagex is not totally going to scrap the losing options. Like, obviously Jagex was prepared for any option out there. Jagex was prepared for, hypothetically, if we voted and shamanism won over sailing. Hooray, okay, maybe we're just going to relaunch sailing in a couple years. Redo the vote. So I really see the old school RuneScape team in a way not 100% scrapping all these different things in the future, but just re-asking us the same question. And I mean, let's go ahead and fast forward maybe like 10 years from now. There very well could be an artsin, warding, shamanism, and taming skill on old school RuneScape, and we just keep voting for the same thing, and eventually it just goes ahead and passes. I think that's pretty much how, like, it works in the federal government here in America, which is the reason why it's so screwed up. Yeah, they just like keep re-asking the same question, and people get so friggin' tired, and they're like, okay, let's just, vote on it, right? Okay, maybe that's not how it works, or maybe it is. Who knows? But either way, it's kind of really interesting to see what it turns out to be as the next old school RuneScape skill. And I'm going to be looking back on this video whenever the new RuneScape skill does come out. I got to actually find the video. I honestly don't think I have one, unfortunately. But I was almost positive I did a deep dive reaction. To be honest, I think it was during a Twitch live stream, and I don't have the recording footage. But I pretty much said, like, I'm going to use this as documentation. Not to mention I was a little hammered as well also. Yep, it was definitely a Twitch live stream. Yep, it definitely was. It was a couple years ago. But this video is going to be, like, proof on this channel that whenever the next 99 does come out, or maybe 120... Whenever the next 99 or maybe 120, you gotta always consider that. I'm going to be looking back on this video. I'm going to be making the prediction. Shamanism, you're in my mind. I can just definitely see that being the next one in line. And I mean, is it really bad? I really don't think so. It's kind of really humorous because a lot of people have already gotten their Maxscape back. So... yeah, two of my friends that ended up losing their Maxscape, they already got 99. It's a very, like, quick skill to train. You just got to train it. Tomorrow I'm going to be uploading a very special video, so make sure you definitely tune in for that. But on a closing note, definitely let me know in some nasty dirty comments your prediction of what you really think the next proposed, or rather, takeaway proposal. What do you think the next old school RuneScape skill is going to be? Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm talking some poop up my pooper? Or do you think it's going to be totally something different we didn't see coming? I mean, maybe Jagex proposes something totally new, and we're all like, yo, let's go ahead and do this. Maybe they're going to come out with evolution of cooking. Yeah, maybe they're gonna come out with something totally outrageous. Oh man, I honestly don't know. All right, on a super closing note, I love you all. New content tomorrow. I gotta go ahead and put together a different style of video for my main channel, so no new video on there today. Definitely check out my other channels because I'm uploading a lot for you guys, so hopefully you're definitely appreciating content, massive content. As always, check out my book on Amazon if you want more of Nightmare RH Vito. Love you all and see you tomorrow. Later.